All right, everyone, we are back, and can you believe this is episode 10 of the Hard Camera Podcast? And listen, I know you haven't heard from us in a couple weeks, but I got to be honest with you. As devout WWE fans, we were less than enthused by the so-called WrestleMania 2.0, known as Wrestle-Pa-Loser. We all collectively agreed that it was absolutely awful. And it was so bad that it hurt us mentally, physically, even spiritually to an extent. And we were like, gosh, we need time to recuperate from the travesty that was ESPN's debut pay-per-view, Wrestle-Pa-Loser. In short, too long didn't read, Wrestle-Pa-Loser sucked! And we were mad at WWE. So we're coming back to you now. And we haven't done a week-by-week, play-by-play, deep analysis like we've been doing. So there's a lot to talk about. And that's what we're going to do today. We're just going to talk. We're going to talk about it. We all have different things going on in each of our minds with our favorite wrestlers, scenarios, situations, K-fobs, all that stuff. And we're just going to vent to you for however long it takes to vent to you tonight. And so we're probably going to dub this episode The Current State of WWE as the Rhodes family sees it. And so strap in. You're in for some good conversation tonight, all surrounding our favorite production, World Wrestling Entertainment. And so I want to get started. We're probably going to talk a lot about Crown Jewel because it's only, 2 days away from the recording of this podcast. So that'll come up a lot. And next week we will be doing an analysis on Crown Jewel, SmackDown, Raw, just like we normally would. But before we open up that can of worms, I really have a question I want to direct mainly towards Dominic, but I want to see how everybody thinks. Dominic, I got a question. I've been wanting to ask you this for 2 weeks now. But
what's up, brother?
Let's be honest.
Okay.
Take our least favorite wrestler out of the equation, and you tell me, who had the better WWE debut? Carmelo Hayes or Javon Evans?
I'm actually going to go with Javon Evans because, in my opinion, yes, Carmelo Hayes started off fighting Cody Rhodes, big deal, but it didn't go over. It didn't work. Booking-wise and fan base-wise, people do want more from Carmelo, but it didn't work out. Javon Evans, he's so over from NXT that it just pours into the main roster. That boy Bouncy goes off, and the main roster acts like it's a main eventer coming out. So I'm gonna be honest. I 100% actually believe it's Javon Evans. I can see either side of the argument, but my vote's Javon Evans. That's me.
I agree. I think Javon Evans already is everything we were hoping from Carmelo Hayes and more. And I honestly think it might be his attitude.
I'll even go as far to say that Javon Evans is a better in-ring performer than Carmelo Hayes.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, they're both good. But yeah. Javon is fun to watch, my friend. He is amazing.
The limit, the sky, the rooftop for Javon Evans, it's unmatched. Homie's only 21 years old, bro.
Like, it's crazy.
He's got endless potential. Endless. Can set any record easily. Like, he's so young, so over, so just like he's just organically just goofy and just fits in perfectly with the fan base of WWE right now.
Like, how old is Braun Breaker?
Braun Breaker is 28.
Is he really that old?
Mm-hmm.
Dang, I didn't know that. I thought he was younger.
Carmelo Hayes is 29, 27, one of those. Might be hitting 30.
We even tuned into the NXT versus TNA thing to watch Javon Evans.
Yeah, we watched Invasion. That was actually kind of fun.
You know, they scrapped Invasion. They were calling it Invasion, but then they got trademarked because they had the Invasion years ago. So now it was Showdown?
Yeah. I kept calling it Invasion. Invasion's way better of a name. It was Invasion in my eyes. I had fun watching it. It was a blast.
Well, to catch everybody up, and there's a part two of this conversation that I really think will open up the conversation. But that's how I wanted to start. And here, to catch everybody up, a year ago, almost a little more, Carmelo Hayes debuted on WWE SmackDown, and he came out big. He came out. It kind of reminded me of when, oh gosh, Shelton Benjamin debuted years ago, and his very first big match was against Triple H, and he showed out. I mean, he had a great match against Triple H, and Triple H was even impressed at key fob with Shelton Benjamin. Now we know that fizzled out. It didn't ever really go anywhere. Everybody respects Shelton Benjamin, but he's never been, A tier. It just never happened.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, because he was good too. He was a good performer. And Carmelo Hayes came out. Of course, he lost. He didn't win. But Carmelo Hayes has been somebody that's kind of been on the back burner for most of the fan base, thinking, okay, he could be the next big thing, but something just isn't letting him make it. We don't know what that is. We could talk about it, but we can't really pinpoint it either.
Right.
So then last week you had Javon Evans from NXT come in and challenge for the U.S. title at Sami Zayn's U.S. Open Challenge, and man, what a freaking performance he put on! It was awesome. 100%. It was fun. The crowd loved it. Actually, there was points in time in the crowd where the crowd was wanting him to win. When Sami was kicking out, they were upset. So good stuff. And I just can't help but think, man, this is better than what Carmelo gave us already. Good stuff. And of course, you put them side by side, and here's why. And here's really where the conversation opens up. You already mentioned NXT, the pay-per-view. You guys watched it. Who is responsible on NXT for bringing so much attention and bringing so much clout, as you would say, to both Carmelo Hayes and Javon Evans? I'll tell you right now who put them over, and it's not Shawn Michaels. Trick Williams.
Yeah,
put 100%. Them both over.
I don't disagree with you.
And Trick Williams has not made it to the main roster yet, but he is definitely responsible and earns and absolutely deserves his flowers for doing what he did that propelled Javon and Carmelo. And so really the conversation I want to bleed into you, open conversation, is, I mean, how many people on NXT do we really think deserve to be on the main roster? But really, they're providing the fan base a service, and they're not getting credit for it, for propelling some of that talent to the next level, and then they're staying on NXT on to the next one. I think Trick's a name, obviously, that needs credit for both the two we're talking about. But let's talk about it a little bit. We can talk about NXT because it is part of the WWE brand, and I think that opens up a conversation where Trick isn't just a focus. I think there's other people in NXT, too, that are doing that. They're putting people over at that young age. And that, I mean, I'd love to talk about NXT for a little bit if you guys want to.
100%. First name that comes to my mind is Oba Femi.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oba Femi is like he's another one of those guys that the second he shows up, it's gonna go. So it's gonna be over. Like he's people already organically just love the crap out of him. Now that comes from that also comes from a place of just how well he's been booked in NXT, but still he's just that guy. And then another one that I know that other people are just on the edge of their seat waiting for is Ethan Page.
It's not his time yet.
It's not his time yet, but I think it's I know I can't wait for him to be there personally. But I mean, I guess he's not as big as Oba and Trick, though. You are right about that. But
I mean, so like let's talk about it. We're talking about that invasion angle, and I think TNA is going to be absorbed into NXT probably.
I think so too.
I mean, if
especially with the way
it's only a matter of time.
Yeah, no, 100%. I do think so too, because especially with the way Ava and Santino just keep acting like they're just cordial. Like there's not really much actual like heat between them. It's like it's like
yeah,
I could see it.
But that leads me to believe that maybe Trick won't ever be on the main roster. If he's not here now, will he ever be? If Ethan's not here now, will he ever be? And then the guys in the learning tree and stuff like that. I don't know. I I just think when I put two and two together, I was like, man, Trick Williams is the reason both of them are on the main roster. He propelled them. How many other people in NXT can say they're there and they're not going to the main roster because they're too busy investing in others? And are we noticing that as fans of the WWE?
I can see that.
Yeah. So
I mean, I don't know. Maybe with Trick, I think with Trick, what it is they're like, if there's not an overly like 100 like just big thing for him to get into right away because they believe he's worthy of that, then they'd rather just keep him on NXT propelling others.
mhm.
So maybe like in due time, when some of these older heads start to leave, and the main and that stuff that should open up, like I could see that because Trick Williams is still also only in his 20s as well, so it's not like his injury's the only thing that stops him from here on out. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. And I want to see people like Lash Legend make it to the main roster, but currently in NXT, like when you beat Lash Legend, you instantly get some credit for that.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you didn't have Lash Legend, who would you have to beat to be at the next level? Like right now, who's the NXT champion girl right now? Dark haired girl. What's her name?
Casey Jane.
I can't stand her. Like anybody that beats
either.
her, anybody that beats JC Jane doesn't get that recognition.
Doesn't get that credibility.
For like, that was a big win. Like Jordan Grace had that power, right? You beat Jordan Grace, you're somebody. You beat Lash Legend, you're somebody. You beat JC Jane, who cares? JC Jane sucks. You know what I mean? But like you go into NXT and you fight people. Okay, well, if you beat Trick, he beat Trick. If he beats Oba Femi, he beat Oba Femi.
Right.
So they're there. They're in that position, and I think that it makes sense, and it's kind of like, what's the deal? What's the deal on the table for these people? They know they're good enough for the main roster, yet they're getting looked over. Are they there for a reason? Like do they understand their role? And if they're playing their role, that's awesome. Some of the best things we've seen as fans is when big talent puts people over to continue legacies, and we appreciate that, even if we don't realize that's what's happening. So okay, yeah, Javon Evans, Carmelo Hayes, cool.
If they do absorb TNA, then some of them can move up, and TNA could take some of the better TNA people could take their places, getting people over for a while. Another thing while we're talking about NXT, Sol Ruca is finally here. We all wanted that.
Yes,
I love the little exposure that she's getting right now with the main roster and like the NXT. I mean the women's tag team championships opportunities that are heading her way for her and Zarya. They're both doing really good. And I love the angle that they're going at it with. You got Charlotte and Alexa trying to tell people how to work together. It's fun for me.
Hey, I would tell you what, you mentioned Charlotte and Alexa. I'm having so much fun watching Charlotte and Alexa. And I know he said it.
Yeah, whenever they get there. Yeah, right now if they were off TV for a little bit there, but now they're back on. They're right back in the mold, and I'm liking it. They're picking right back up where they left, and it's nice.
Yeah,
they're still funny.
I know we said before on this podcast many times, Charlotte and Alexa, it's been like mountains and valleys. But I think on the most recent SmackDown, they had just like a 1 minute thing, and it was another thing that was it was funny. It made me laugh where Charlotte was like, "Woo! Say it, do it." And Alexa was like, "No." But at the same point in time, Alexa made Charlotte carry pom-poms to the ring.
Yeah.
Like, which one is more embarrassing? Saying, "Woo!" What was embarrassing and made me cringe was when Kathy Kelly did it, though. Like, she did it and it was like, ah! And I was like, oh. Okay. Didn't go over the way you wanted it to, Kathy.
It was funny.
But whatever. It's fun, and I like fun. But Dad, let's talk about Sol Ruca. And this brings up another conversation. But you mentioned Sol Ruca being on the main roster, and I am so excited. 2 weeks ago, when the camera panned over and it was just them talking to Alexa and Charlotte about wanting a tag team shot, I was like, "Holy crap! There she is, Sol Ruca." And all her surfer glory is on SmackDown, and nobody said anything. There wasn't any build-up. There wasn't any notice. It's just boom, there she is, and she's with Zarya. I love it. I love it. And the match they had recently, there was some miscommunication, but it wasn't on Soul and Zarya's. It wasn't on them. It was clearly Alba. Alba sucks. She's awful. But they got to win. They got to win on SmackDown too. And Nick Aldis has officially talked to both of them and said he's excited about their opportunity. So while Soul is holding belts that belong to NXT, she's on SmackDown. She is a SmackDown superstar, and I am super excited about it. I'd love to talk about Soul Ruca. I could talk about Soul Ruca the whole time.
No, I love it too. I think it's really good. I think it puts some fresh names in the women's tag team division that so desperately needed it.
Yeah, I'm super happy about the situation. And
go ahead.
This is what I wanted to talk about the most because I'm a little confused of how they're doing with Soul and Javon. And also, Oba hasn't showed up in a long time. Well, not in a long time, but for 2 weeks at least. So do we think that he's going to go to SmackDown or Raw too?
Yes, Oba. Oh, I really do believe Oba. Oba lost his title to Ricky Saints. I believe he's on his way, but I think they're just going to keep him off TV, and I think he'll be one of those guys that debuts in the Rumble.
I think that's too long.
I don't know, man. Sometimes that's the best thing to do to someone. Take him off TV for a hot minute.
You've got a few names that could come back if they wait that long and make the Rumble real special. I don't know what the plan is for a lot of superstars that are not on TV right now. But, you know, Gunther, Oba, Joe Hendry,
Liv.
You know, there's Liv. Yeah, there's a lot of people that are not on TV right now. And it's like, what are we doing here? What's going on? There's been no updates or anything like that. I'm actually excited.
Joe Hendry was a special referee in the pay-per-view.
Joe Hendry. I'm be honest with you guys. I'm gonna be straight up with you. You notice how Joe Hendry's kind of just been like this comical jump out the fridge special guest referee guy. He hasn't had a match in probably like 2 months, maybe even longer, because they're trying to make sure homie stays healthy while also still getting TV time. Because Dog is going to be on the roster in 2026. I'm telling you, bro. I'm convinced of it.
You know, I think Matt Cardona would be a great Royal Rumble entrant as well.
Woo, woo, woo. It could happen, bro.
Needs to happen.
If this TNA Invasion thing keeps working out as well as it does, Rumble. I think this year's Rumble is going to be special. I mean, yeah, it's in Saudi, but I think it's going to be special.
Oh, Saudi sucks. Okay, anyways, so let's talk about Invasion angles though. The highest ratings wrestling has ever seen in the history of wrestling was during Invasion angles. We saw it with the NWO. We saw it with WCW when they invaded WWE, WWF, and we also saw it when ECW invaded the WWE.
Yeah.
All of those angles have drawn in huge viewership. And now they're doing it again with TNA and NXT. Huge viewership here too. Everybody's talking about this. The only problem with this one was they had to change the pay-per-view name, and everybody was laughing about that. So it didn't seem as serious. But yeah, Invasion angles are huge. Always have been. And if there's ever an AEW Invasion angle, you know the whole freaking roof's going to blow off.
Earth shattering. Like, earth shattering. Dude, if two companies could ever make it happen, brother, that would dude.
You know, back during COVID, during the stimulus days, I had enough money to buy I had enough money, but I could have used my stimulus check to buy a professional wrestling ring. And I had thoughts of opening up my own little indie promotion in Tyler, buying the ring outright and just having little house matches to see what would happen. But there's a lot that goes into that. But I had the money to buy the ring and pay for the licensing. I just never did it because I was like, what if somebody gets hurt and then I get sued because I don't know how to set this up right? But what I say is if WWE goes as far to acquire AEW too, like it looks like they're going to do with TNA, there won't be anything else. It'll be open for competition at that point. And of course, everybody that's competed has failed. But who knows, right? We could have a wrestling promo.
Yeah, I had something like that I've been thinking about they could do. Maybe it wouldn't be an invasion, but a takeover. I think the takeover. The thing about the NWO that made it really interesting was they didn't only invade; they took over. I mean, I like to see a group come on and kick Adam Pearce out of the building, take over the announcers, have all the wrestlers come out, start making matches through the whole show. You know, I think you could do it with the Wyatts, but then I also had an idea of like a really unholy alliance where you had Brock Lesnar slowly team up with Jey Uso and Roman, and then for the takeover angle, Kevin Owens and Gunther come back and join him. That'd be a brutal thing right there. And I think it would go really good, go over.
Yeah, they don't really do a whole lot of, like, I'm trying to say, big, like, huge, like, things like that anymore. And I do believe, like, even if they didn't go all the way to the extreme, like, all the way to the highest level, like you're talking about in the takeover, I do believe storylines like that, sometimes they're honestly missed. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you could sit here and be honest about it. Like, like, I'm not sitting here saying everything's just, but that's the beauty of professional wrestling. There should never be anything off the table,
But you
Everything
could
should always be an option.
you could make it where like Roman comes out with some kind of legal document where the Rock cheated him out of his spot on the wrestling board, and his lawyer had it reversed and gave him the papers before anybody knew what was going on. He kicked 2 more members off the board and put Gunther on there and somebody else. And so they have the legal right to do it.
Have to fight for their company back.
You could have that angle go on for a year, and then at WrestleMania, the main roster heroes, Jimmy Uso and Cody and all them, take the company back. Have a match where they put the company on the line at the end of the year, or you could even stretch it out 1.5 to 2 years. It'd be cool though. Everybody takes sides and stuff.
It's almost giving vibes, and if they did this the right way, they could bring this back and it would be nostalgic. If they ever took the brands Raw and SmackDown and did a big versus again.
Yes.
You know what I mean? They tried that multiple times before, but because people had swapped brands so many times, it was like there wasn't any real rooted grounding in these superstars and what brand they were fighting for. But, if they wanted to, they could even spin it to where, hey, it's officially Raw versus SmackDown. And,
yes.
The managers go head to head. That would be very exciting. And then of course they could end with like a peace deal. Hey, let's just get back to doing what we do, instead of it being us against you. But I mean, then you'd have to fight like which channel is the belt on, and who gets bragging rights until the next PLE, and you know what I mean? Like, kind of cool. Either way you look at it, invasion angles have a huge draw. Takeover angles have a huge draw. The NWO is kind of a mix of both. They were invading, but they also took over. Now, if we're talking analytically, there is a hit or miss in all of these storylines where if you drag it out too long, then all of the hype you had goes bad. It's kind of like the person who does 100 things right and does one thing wrong. All people remember about you is the one thing you did wrong. NWO it's known as the greatest invasion angle in wrestling history, but what happened? It got too big, went too long, and then they laugh now at Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff because they made a mockery, dropped the ball on one of the best angles in wrestling history. And it would definitely need to be well handled, well scripted with, enough room for adjustments as demand, is. But Yeah, no, it's great, and I like what's going on. On the pay-per-view, I didn't watch it. I don't normally watch NXT pay-per-views.
I don't
Notably, you
either.
said Oba Femi lost?
Oba Femi lost his title back at No Mercy before
Okay.
the invasion thing. He lost to Ricky Saints. Ricky Saints has the NXT World Title now.
I don't like Ricky Saints, to be honest with you. I think that's stupid that he lost to Ricky Saints, but okay.
Honestly, bro, I'm not gonna lie to you. Me and Agent both were saying this. Like the whole angle that they had with Javon Evans at one point against Oba Femi. They have like Undertaker going up to Javon Evans and telling him you need to chase the biggest dog in the yard, don't give up. And then he went after Oba Femi and it was completely over. And their match was brutal.
Yeah, that
it was
good.
amazing. The angle, me and Asian both said that like if anyone should have, because Oba Femi's been undefeated for 3 years.
Yes, he has.
And so the really awesome story would have been for someone like Javon Evans to have done it. But then
really... Javon Evans couldn't be on SmackDown like he is, and so
I know, but like I mean,
we don't. It's kind of like seeing beyond what we're seeing.
I guess you're right.
But okay,
bro.
I don't. I mean, yes and no. No, I don't know. Javon shouldn't have won because he'd have to defend it on NXT. Yes, Ricky Saints sucks and should not have won because Ricky Saints sucks. You know. But if Oba Femi's going to move up, why not just have Trick win it and be a double champion?
Right, Facts.
That's my opinion. Anyway, cool stuff.
While we come all the way back around to Evan, I'll also like to point out that Sami Zayn had another episode of not getting the shoulder up in time on that match, and he also did against Carmelo Hayes. He has trouble with that, but he's lost that title 3 times now.
Yes, he has. Yes, he has. If we were doing a botch of the week, it'd be Sami 3 weeks in a row. Like, awful. Well, hold on. Now, let's be clear. Sami's was bad, but it wasn't as bad as Nia Jax's.
No.
Nia Jax in the triple threat was awful. And I was like,
I don't know whose fault that is.
Nobody knows what to do right here. You saw Nia Jax not get her shoulder up. There was a pause. Nia Jax loses character completely, looks up at the referee and starts griping at the referee. And the referee's like, what? You didn't lift your shoulder up. You weren't supposed to lose.
Like, and then Tiffany's all confused. And so Tiffany just randomly, she doesn't even stand up. She just randomly picks her elbow up and hits Nia in the stomach. While she's still sitting on her ass, she just goes, beep.
Yeah, and then she gave her another moonsault and ended the match. And nobody knows. Nobody's clarified what really happened. Was Jade hurt because she was bleeding and she missed a cue?
No.
Was Nia supposed to kick out? Was the ref supposed to end the match there? Like, nobody knows what happened. All we know is Nia was at the center of another huge flop. Botch, you name it, call it, claim it, whatever you want there, Nia. Religion of Nia and flop. Dominic, for the podcast, you're going to have to say it. Give me a good floppity flop, brother.
What, Nia Jax with her floppity flop?
When I'm having a bad day, I think about that, and I no longer have a bad day. It's so funny.
I want to do something a little bit different. I'd like to bring our listeners in for a minute. I want to ask you to comment on this video and tell us who beat Sami Zayn for his open challenge.
Okay, so prediction time. The Patriarch is asking the fan base, be it whoever it may be, let's hear your predictions on who is going to finally win the U.S. Championship from Sami Zayn. We want to know. And I'll tell you what, I'll make a special note for next week's episode to go over that at the beginning, and we'll keep it on record, and we'll do something. If somebody, the first person to name the correct one later on down the line, we'll circle back to and see if we can't get something nice for them.
Yes, absolutely.
Cool. Good invitation there. Do we want to make predictions now, or do we just want to wait and see what everyone in the world says?
We can.
U.S. title. Who beats Sami? Who takes the U.S. title and gets it to the next level?
Right.
I don't want to go first. I want to hear what y'all have to say.
I want to go first.
All right.
Okay? And I think he might lose it sooner than you guys think. And it's a big what if because it all depends on what happens tomorrow. Okay? So I think tomorrow they're in Perth, Australia, and Grayson Waller will answer the open challenge. Okay? He won't lose it to Grayson Waller, but I think we will finally see the return of Austin Theory and Grayson Waller's big match of the U.S. title. One of his first title, like single title opportunities, might be his first one ever if it happens. And Austin Theory gets him out of it. And then I think at Perth, there's a slight chance that Sami, Theory, and Waller will fight for the title. And I think Theory might win.
Sami, Theory, and who? Waller?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a triple threat.
Isn't
at
Waller
Crown
hurt?
Jewel.
Isn't Waller,
No.
doesn't he have a real injury?
No. I mean,
Grayson
they
Waller
said
got
he's
hurt.
out. No, all they said was that he's out. They didn't say he was actually like injured. They didn't name a specific injury on it. They didn't say he was like out. They just said he's out. Kind of like the New Day's been doing that though.
I thought
New Day's
Penta
been
hurt him.
faking injury.
I thought Penta
No.
like legit hurt his neck.
Nah. I mean, he could have. I don't know. I didn't hear nothing about it. But I've been seeing stuff. I've been seeing this theorized all week. Grayson Waller's answering the U.S. Open Challenge in Australia. Austin Theory's going to cost it to him. Now, the Crown Jewel angle they just talking about, I haven't seen that yet. But I have seen that Grayson Waller answers it. Because it's Australia. That's Grayson Waller's home. That's where he's from. That's his big thing. Is he gets to answer that, but then he gets screwed out of it by Austin Theory. And that's big Austin Theory return. And then boom, and yeah.
Okay, well, it's your prediction. I don't necessarily think that will happen. I think more that it would be a good return for Austin Theory if he just came out and challenged for it outright. Win or lose, it would be fun to watch. I know there's unfinished business between Grayson and Theory, but let's be honest, the WWE is not really closing open doors as quickly as we think they should. Matter of fact, it took, Jimmy, I was going to tell you this last week, we didn't have an episode. We finally, and we didn't get the resolution we thought we would get, but we're kind of getting resolution on Seth Rollins helping Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 2 years ago, as that's been brought up in this feud for the Crown Jewel Championship.
Background.
Yeah, I mean, we're not getting like a real, hey, you got to pay it back. It's just been brought up, so that way it's not like just a plot hole anymore. It's actually been covered, but it's not been covered the way we thought that they would. So I don't know. Will Austin and Grayson have some heat later on? Sure, probably. I don't know. Based on the trend that WWE and the way they're going, I don't know if it'll happen this quick. I don't think he'll come back and jump right back into Grayson. I think they're going to do their best to raise both of them up before that happens. But I mean, it's a cool prediction. Cool prediction. I don't think, but we really wanted a prediction on who is going to beat Sami. And who do you think it is that's going to beat Sami and take the U.S. Championship from Sami?
Said Austin Theory. He did.
You think Austin's going to beat Sami? Just not this Friday?
No.
Okay. See, I think it's going to be Kevin Owens.
See, you took mine. That's what I thought too.
No, but I fact checked it. But it said Grayson Waller recovered from a storyline injury, which means it wasn't like a real life.
Okay, cool. Thanks for fact checking.
Yeah.
Jimmy, why do you think it's going to be Kevin Owens? I didn't mean to steal your thunder.
No, that's cool. I don't want it to be Kevin Owens, but I mean, when Kevin Owens left, Sami didn't take up for him against Cody. He pleaded for him, but he didn't keep Cody from hurting him. And I think Kevin Owens is going to hold that against him. They're going to have a big feud, and finally somebody's going to whoop up on him for a while.
Yeah, well, I think it's more than that. I think they're getting, when it comes time for them to start building a team against the Vision, they're going to need equal firepower on one side. Obviously, we're not getting that with LA Knight, Jey Uso, and Seth. We're not getting that with CM Punk. There's too much going on for them to unite to take out the Vision. It's just not going to happen. But we've got some backstory now with Cody and Seth. And
The
Cody's going to
Vision-
have to build a stable to take on the Vision because they're messing with Cody. They're
I'm
messing
gonna
with
be
Cody.
honest with you, bro. Yeah, but here's the problem. I'm just gonna be honest. The Vision's done. They're
No,
done.
it's not. No, it is
Yes,
not.
it is. Yes, it is.
No,
It's
it
done.
is not.
Yes,
You're
it is.
wrong.
Even Adrian agrees with me, bro. They're done at War Games, bro. That's their last match together.
No,
It's not working. It's not
No,
working.
It's not. It is working.
No,
it
it's
is
not.
working. And let me
Paul
tell you how
Heyman
it's working,
with
and they've
Seth
had to
Rollins
shift it.
sucks.
They thought, listen, no. They thought they were going to do the Vision thing, get big, and then take Braun Breaker to the next level. It's working, but it's not happening the way they planned. It's propelling Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed is the highlight of the Vision right now. And I love that, honestly. Yes, because he's going against Roman again.
But I know,
The
but that
biggest
is-
draw
but
on
that's
the
not-
roster still
he's
is
gonna
Roman
lose.
Reigns.
He's going to lose against Roman again, too.
I don't think he will. I think they
he's
messed
gonna
up
lose
the
the-
first time. They know they messed up.
Look,
Bronson's
I'm just going to
winning
be
this
straight up with
time.
you. This match right here, Bronson's going to lose to Roman. Braun Breaker is going to interfere in this match, and then Randy's going to interfere, and Randy's going to try to stop Braun Breaker from doing something, and in the process, accidentally cost Cody the match. Seth's going to be mad because he didn't win clean. He's going to be mad at his team for it. He's already showing signs of being mad at Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman already told him, "You lose, I'm leaving you."
Bro, Seth,
That's all
okay,
it takes
stop
is
right
one
there.
loss.
Seth has drug your emotions through the dirt about 6 different times since the founding of the Vision. Everything Seth's done, we thought Seth this, Seth that, Seth this, and then he comes full circle and he's still focused in providing and doing things for the Vision. Like,
Not
he's
with
done
Cody
this
in
to
his
you.
head.
He's done
Cody's
this to
in
you
his
like
head.
6 times. It's not
But
gonna
I
happen.
think you have it. But I also think you have it backwards, bro. They're not in Cody's head. Cody's cocky as crap at all this.
No. You're not
Cody's in
thinking about
Seth's head.
something. You're not thinking about something. I'll tell you what you're not
What am I
thinking
not
about.
thinking about?
When Roman loses to Bronson at Crown Jewel, Jimmy Uso will have weight for telling Jay why he should not be listening to Roman. That's internal. That storyline is
No.
internal.
The
Yeah, I
whole
got
angle is for eventually Roman and Jay to be on top of everyone. Everyone.
No. They're propel. I said this weeks ago and saying it now. They're getting ready to propel Jimmy. It's Jimmy's turn.
Yeah,
No, it's
and
not.
that's what. Yeah, I'm making that prediction too. You got LA
Jimmy's
Knight,
gonna
you got
get
CM
crashed.
Punk, you got LA Knight, you got CM Punk, you got Jey Uso, all
Plot
thinking
twist,
I deserve a
they're
title
all
shot.
three going to be on top.
$100. Let's put $100 on it right now,
It's gonna
Dominic.
go to Jimmy
$100.
Uso. That title shot's going to Jimmy Uso.
If you will shake me through the screen, I will bet $100 that Bronson Reed beats Roman this weekend.
Hey,
And then your whole story, your whole foundation goes out the window.
look, bro. Even if Bronson Reed somehow does beat
He
Roman,
won't bet me.
it doesn't. Bronson Reed beating Roman honestly doesn't even really matter for what I just said. It doesn't. Bronson Reed can honestly still beat Roman and still what I said happened. Because it has nothing to do with Bronson Reed. I'm just saying, I think the Vision's done sooner than everyone thinks.
I
I'm still
disagree.
standing on that.
But now, who beat Sami Zayn?
Who
You didn't
beat
tell
Sami
us who-
Zayn?
Yeah, you didn't tell us who beat Sami Zayn.
Shao Kahn, because no one's going to. Like,
So I want to give you a little bit. One of mine on my list, and this can probably bleed into this conversation. Solo Sikoa had a promo on the most recent SmackDown where now you've got JC, you've got the other Tongaloa, and you've now got Tala who said, "I love you, Solo." But then at the end, he gives us a screwball. He gives us a twist, and I hope WWE is better than this. I hope it's not Tama Tonga all over again. But
that's
Solo
Sikoa
Sikoa says, wait a minute. We need one more person to make this complete. We need one more thing to make this complete. Now, this could go twofold. It could be a thing. It could be a belt to give them cred. Or it could be one more member. So, who or what was Solo talking about, and depending on who he was talking about, does this person beat Sami and bring the U.S. title to the MFTs?
Okay. Oh, I have something to add. I have something to say about that. If it is a person, I think two people. I have two people. I think it's either the obvious Toma Tonga, but I went up to Dominic. I talked about this, and I was like, okay. So right now they're all a bunch of lackeys. But what if they needed somebody that's worthy of a title, so it wasn't a lackey? What if it's Oba instead of another Samoan?
If it's who?
Oba.
Oba Femi?
Femi.
In the MFTs?
Yes.
Yeah.
He actually looks like he acts like a Samoan.
Johnny, that face. Don't ever make that. There goes. We end the podcast on that note.
For those viewers that only listen, my face, I've never looked that way in my entire life. Okay.
Oh God, dude, that was hilarious.
No, I think the fifth member, what I was going with there is whoever that fifth member may be, I think they may debut when Solo decides to take on Sami again in the open challenge, help Solo win. You've got a complete faction, you've got a belt all there with Solo. If that goes that way. Lastly, I don't know why this isn't happening. Sami has a long reign, cool, whatever. But if it's Uncle Howdy that comes out and finally just puts Sami out and brings another belt to the Wyatt Six, I'm okay with that too. I would love Uncle Howdy to fight Sami Zayn.
That'd be sick. That honestly, bro,
And-
I'm not gonna lie to you, man. Good luck to the viewers out there who are gonna comment and actually give their prediction, because you're better than me, because I can't even predict one person. Because honestly,
I would bet $1,000 that it's not Oba Femi, but okay. No. It could be Oba Femi, but
Samoa
Oba
Joe.
Femi's not joining the MFTs. That's not
okay,
happening.
but I'm just saying that I really like. I mean, if I really like story, if we're gonna, the thing about this U.S. thing, but the thing about this U.S. title thing though, that makes it so hard for me to be able to predict anything, is that in all technicality, there's no actual really story behind it. It's just constant US Open challenges. So you can use it to propel a story. You can use it to add to a story. You can use it to carry on another one, like they've already done once or twice, actually twice in the same night. But still, I'm just saying it's like anyone can do it.
Well, I think the only champion on the roster right now that doesn't have a predetermined loss contender is Tiffany Stratton. I think every single person on the roster right now who's a champion, they already know who they're eventually losing the titles to. It's just a matter of time. I think they're just going to keep the title on Tiffy right now until, until something happens. It may go back to Alexa eventually if Soul takes the title. I don't know. It could happen with anybody, but right now they're kind of playing that out. I think they know who's going to beat Sami. I think they've already decided, Sami, this is who's going to beat you.
I'm not saying they don't know. I'm just saying that it can be anyone, is what I'm saying.
I
don't know.
I think in regards to what you're saying, I think it definitely will eventually tie into a story at some point. And unfortunately, I think that means it's going to be Kevin Owens. I think that's just how it's going to happen. I mean, it'd be fine with me. I think it's good, but win-win for me would be Uncle Howdy. Uncle Howdy would be my favorite winner of the U.S. title.
That's my only question on the Kevin Owens angle that you guys are having. You're saying that he would do it because when Cody hurt him, he was mad because he wouldn't help him beat Cody. Dude, they already lashed out about that. That's the reason why they beat the living hell out of each other at Elimination Chamber.
No, I just think because of that, they're not friends anymore. I think it's good reference material they'll bring up again. And when they keep someone off screen, I know he's having real life surgery. When they keep someone off screen for a while, when they bring them back, they typically twist the story to fit the narrative. I just think it makes sense that Kevin Owens comes out. And you've already got that surprise factor built into it. They messed us over one time by announcing Rey Fenix before the match. They haven't made that mistake again. It's been complete surprise on who comes out each time. And I just imagine that being huge when, you know, Sami Zayn's waiting in the ring for somebody to come out. He's held the championship for a couple months, and boom, it's Kevin Owens. And you're like, oh, crap. Okay.
Yeah.
Another thing, too, is if Gunther switches shows, because there's not really anything for him on Raw, Gunther could come do it.
Yeah.
That'd be a new belt for him that he could hold on to for a while and build up SmackDown. But the list is endless.
Needs some freaking help. Like, good God.
I'd love for it to be Tala Tonga or Eric Rowan or
Dad's not accepting of Gunther winning anything besides the World Heavyweight Champion.
Well, because he should be. That's fair.
But I just think it'll be Kevin Owens. But I'd like to see some big dude come out there and just stomp him, you know. But they're not.
Well, there you go.
What
Gunther
I really
can
hate
get back
is
for
what Dominic
WrestleMania
said.
40.
Eric Rowan answers the challenge, and they let Sammy beat him. Then I'd quit watching.
That's what I'm telling you.
I'd be done for about a month.
I believe we're on pace for that to happen here pretty soon, and all y'all going to be pissed. But I see it happening really soon, really soon.
But what if the other member of the group were Samoa Joe? That'd be cool.
The TNA takeover is happening.
I don't want to do too much of a rabbit hole on that. I really do believe it's just basic Tama Tonga. They're going to be all like, they're going to be sitting there. They're probably the way I could see it all happening is I could see, like, I honestly could see Solo freaking maybe winning from, like, I don't know if that even, I don't know. I could honestly, just because Tama Tonga, I believe I could see him doing another just backstage promo and then being like, we got our person. And then next thing you know, you just hear, yeah. And then here comes Tama Tonga just walking out there. And then
I really want Tama Tonga to be with Jacob
simple.
Fatu, though. I want Tama to be in Jacob's corner.
I hear that, but I honestly think they're honestly, Brad, I'm not going to lie to you. I think Jacob Fatu, they're scratching him dealing with that group ever again. I really do. They got him feuding with Drew McIntyre right now.
I know, but
they got him on a whole brand new gimmick.
But he's gonna need help because you know who's gonna show up to help Drew. Logan Paul will be back. Logan will show up to help Drew.
And then imagine a dope match between Jacob Fatu and Logan Paul, my brother.
Yeah, but Jacob's gonna need help, and if I think that's why they need to reserve Tama for Jacob just so he has that in the auxiliary. But I don't know. That's cool. Okay, there you have it. We're gonna wrap that up. Predictions on the U.S. title.
I want Logan Paul against Brock Lesnar.
I want Logan Paul against Dominic Mysterio. That's what I want.
That'd be good.
All work together.
That's what I want too.
Bro, speaking of Dominic Mysterio, he beat Rusev clean.
No, Joey beat him clean. You know damn well he didn't beat him clean.
Yes, he did.
No, brother. No,
he beat him with no help.
Okay, he beat him with no help, but not clean.
Okay, it's Rusev. Who cares? He beat him straight up.
That matters, bro. I'm not discrediting it. I was shocked that he got the win with no help either. But I'm not gonna call it clean. I'm not.
Dominic
Mysterio is king of the luchadors, bro.
Oh, he's going up. I'm not trying to say he ain't.
I have a very far-fetched and I want it to happen, but I know it's not gonna happen theory. And I told Dominic this literally today, probably an hour ago. And it's definitely not gonna happen, but I would like it if at the start of the match at Crown Jewel against AJ and John, Dom Mysterio wants a match with John Cena because he's the best of the best, and he's like, I deserve a match with the best of the best because I am the best. And I would love for them to make that into a triple threat for the title. And I would love Rusev to go beat up Dom and none of the Judgment Day help him out.
Because if you actually go back, WWE posted it themselves. Whenever he beat Rusev and he went up to the top of the ramp and he was holding his 2 titles, whenever Rusev was screaming at him from the ring, the thing that Rusev screamed at him was I'm coming for you, boy, and Judgment Day's coming after you too.
Hey, let's talk about this scene that's on my TV right now. Lyra pulled a heel move under the influence of Bayley and beat up Roxanne and beat up Raquel backstage. Very heel for Lyra. Never seen that behavior from her ever. But the announcers also made a point to mention earlier in the show, right before this, that Lyra was spending time on NXT, reigniting a friendship with Paxley. And so I just want to say this real quick, just state of affairs in WWE. I think Liv Morgan's going to return very, very, very soon. She's going to return to help Raquel and Roxanne against Lyra and Bayley. And NXT is going to pull Pax. Yeah, Liv's going to return. She's going to come to Raquel and Roxanne's help. And that means Bayley and Lyra will have to call on, is it Jaden Paxley? Is that her name?
Yeah.
And Paxley's going to move up to the main roster as a result. Just something I see happening.
If Liv Morgan returns and all she does is rejoin Judgment Day, that's ass. And I'd rather them keep her off TV.
Well, I know what we want. We want Liv to reveal that her and Finn have been together this whole time, and her and Finn go out on their own thing.
But just you gotta hear this angle that Adrian and me saw the other day. That it was so fire. Okay, just hear us out on this one. Okay,
all ears until it gets stupid. Then I'm gonna.
So War Games. Okay, War Games is coming up, right? So we got the women's War Games. And everyone thinks it's going to be like Team AJ versus Team Becky, or like Team blah 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 versus Team blah blah blah. But what I think what we saw would be kind of fire would be Team like Rhea versus Team Asuka. But Team Rhea at the moment is only her and Io, and then Asuka and Kairi. But then Asuka and Kairi can't take down Rhea and Io, so they need help. Well, then they need help, and so because they need help, they know who will beat up Rhea at any given moment just from the drop of a dime, and that's Roxanne and Raquel. They go beat up Rhea, they recruit them, so now it's 4v2, and they need people. So then they go get Lyra and Bayley to help them out. Well, then the other girls go get Becky Lynch because they need another heel to help them. And then it's on their team. And then now Rhea needs to get a face that's actually good enough to deal with Becky and good enough to deal with the Judgment Day and all these other heels. And Rhea goes and we get a promo right before Survivor Series, like on the Raw before Survivor Series. The show ends on Raw with Rhea looking at the team going, I know someone, but it's gonna suck. But I think this person will work. And that Survivor Series, they're waiting on the last person. The cage is still empty. No one's out there. And then Liv Morgan's theme song goes off. She got there and helps Rhea. Plot twist from hell. Dude. Liv Morgan's so over, she can come back as a face easily and no one be mad about it.
Yeah, but you have to make it make sense. Why would she do that?
To get back at the Judgment Day?
For what?
Get back at the Judgment Day. Why? What do you mean why? They lost her title. She's not mad
at the Judgment Day.
But she is, because they lost her titles.
And they replaced her.
And they're helping out Kairi Sane, the one that hurt her.
The only way that Liv is going to come back against the Judgment Day is if Dom is caught cheating with Roxanne.
Okay,
that's the only way.
No, it could be as simple as they're helping out Kairi Sane, who hurt her, and it'd be just as over. The plot twist alone from Rhea going to get Liv would blow people out the water. People be like, what the heck? All they have to do is explain the loophole and boom, it works. And
okay, so you're gonna have a women's war game match. No Alexa Bliss, no Charlotte Flair, no Bianca Belair.
No.
None of those in a women's war game match.
Those people have no story. They have no purpose in those matches, in that match. Those people, they have anybody on SmackDown. I'm sorry, bro. I hate saying this. You guys can be mad at me if you want, but any woman who's on SmackDown is guilty by association of sucking ass because SmackDown sucks ass. That's just a fact. I'm sorry. Though we might as well call it WWE Raw and just get rid of SmackDown as a whole. Like it's absolutely garbage.
A lot this week,
bro. You've got the Wyatt Six on SmackDown.
Yeah, and where have they been?
You've got Cody Rhodes, you've got Randy Orton, you've got Drew McIntyre on SmackDown.
Where's Cody? Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton are feuding with who? Division.
Yeah, because they invaded SmackDown.
Okay, exactly. SmackDown sucks so bad they have to get Raw people over there to invade it. Point blank proven. They suck. SmackDown's garbage. I've skipped SmackDown 2 weeks in a row, and guess what? Didn't miss a damn thing. If I missed Raw, I'd be screwed. SmackDown sucks. Agent's laughing because he knows I'm right. We talk about this all the time. SmackDown is garbage.
I won't say I've been pleased with SmackDown because content has been lacking. We've been getting 3-match shows for several weeks.
And no story progression really whatsoever besides the invasion of the Raw people. Charlotte and Alexa are getting the thing with Sol Ruca, and that's cool. That's probably the only thing interesting.
But I think it's because of the overarching theme of the upcoming PLE. You've got champion versus champion matches, so they're having to do that.
That's why I do believe, and that's also another reason why I think my prediction of Braun Breaker getting involved in this match, Randy stopping him but accidentally costing him, so Seth wins, but he doesn't win clean, therefore sets up something with Cody and Randy, and it sets up Seth being angry at his team, which he already is.
I mean, that part of your story isn't bad, but I don't think the vision's done. I don't think that's happening.
I think
Paul Heyman has never been involved with somebody for 6 months and then called it quits.
Hey, he also has never been a part of someone. That's actually is true. 2022, he joined Brock Lesnar just to screw him over.
Yeah, but that was an angle. That wasn't a storyline.
Well, this could be an angle right here with Seth. The whole angle could be that he was working with Roman the whole time behind the scenes to screw Seth over.
Or working with Braun Breaker.
Or working with Brock Lesnar. Either way it goes.
Braun Breaker.
You're talking about unknown. The unknown is the Oracle. The whole manipulator factor in this thing. And also, to be honest with you, I can tell every single day that Paul Heyman hates working with Seth. I think I said
it was Paul Heyman's idea.
Yeah, I don't think he regrets it. Working with Seth is trash. Seth is garbage.
I want to get Paul Heyman on this podcast so bad.
Hey,
You can get him on his podcast. I'd say right to his face. Seth Rollins is trash.
Where's it go?
Trash. I can't hardly stand Seth Rollins right now.
Rage baiting. This is rage bait.
It's not rage bait.
It's working.
Really
because I've hated this conversation for about the last 10 minutes.
That's not rage bait. It's actually really no. In all honesty, it's not rage bait. It's actually how I feel. I can't stand Seth and Paul Heyman. I really was never really that big of a fan of it when it happened at Mania. It was a plot twist. It was cool. The match was fun. I liked it. But actually, with the whole actual big picture of everything, I hated Seth with Paul Heyman from the jump.
Well, it was a great match because people still talk about it, even though we've had another WrestleMania since then. Like, I don't even remember who the main event of the last WrestleMania was. Wasn't it the triple threat?
Not worth remembering.
What was it? Was it a triple threat? Wasn't it a triple threat? Rollins.
It was Rollins, Punk, and Roman. That's where Paul Heyman turned on him. But the main event night 2 was Cena and Cody, and that match was.
Yeah.
So who beat Seth?
Who beat Seth? What do you mean? Like for his title?
Well, okay, hold on. We can't be hypocrites to ourselves. We've already established that at the beginning of the shooting of these podcasts. If Dominic's story holds weight, then the only person who beats Seth, according to Dominic's theory, is Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
And Paul Heyman's behind it.
Oh.
So, Dominic, if I'm going to answer that question for you, because I know you weren't going to answer it until you sat down and thought about it. Dominic would have to say at this point, Brock Lesnar beats Seth Rollins for the world title. There, I answered for you because I'm your brother and I'm keeping you accountable. I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with Brock beating Seth. Even if Dominic's story isn't wrong, even if he's right, and I'm going to just say even if he's right, even if he's wrong though, Brock Lesnar could still beat Seth, and that would put Paul Heyman in a weird spot again. And obviously, the WWE universe loves it when Paul Heyman's in weird spots. So Brock would be a good name to beat Seth. And then you could still carry it on. You can still carry it
Yep.
on. You've got a slew of people now who are number one contenders, incredible number one contenders. You could bleed it down to Bronson and Braun, but you've also got LA Knight, you've got Jey Uso, and you've got CM Punk who could go up against Brock and make really good matches there. Really good cinema history going against Brock one more time while he's the champion. So
Who do you think
Cool.
takes the belt off of Cody?
I mean, well, real quick, everybody wants to see Gunther and Brock Lesnar go at it too. So eventually, you could even have Gunther win it back from Brock, and it would make a great storyline altogether. Yeah, Adrian, who beat Seth?
Braun Breaker.
Adrian's been saying that for 6 months straight, bro. You're way too convinced of that, bro.
I was
You're way
saying it
too
before
convinced
Brock
of that.
Lesnar returned, but now I'm like, okay, all
I
signs
believe
point
there's
to
no chance
Lauderdale.
in hell he does that.
You want to hear my prediction? You want to hear my real actual prediction?
Yes.
How he wins? It's kind of far away because I think he's gonna beat him at WrestleMania. WrestleMania 40. I don't know which one. 3.
Who?
The 2. It's 2.
Yes.
42. Anyways, yeah. The next WrestleMania, the Paul Heyman guys. I think they're gonna duke it out. But in the
All
end,
4 of them.
yeah. But in the end, Paul Heyman's not gonna leave with any of the 4, and he's gonna leave with Braun Breaker. But I don't know how either Seth wins that Fatal 4-Way, but somebody's gonna win that Fatal 4-Way for the title. But then again, it might not be Braun Breaker that dethrones him, but that's how I see it happening.
For
He
our
thinks all-
viewers,
he thinks
again,
all-
for the record, for months, Adrian has stood on business that Braun Breaker is going to beat Seth, and that's a great conviction. I can see it happening too. It's not a bad avenue. However we get there, cool. And I wouldn't mind it. If Braun's a champion, Braun's a champion. He's champion material. He has been. We've talked about this before too. I hate when Braun is much like Jacob Fatu. He doesn't need people to say how good he is. He doesn't need to say how good he is. He just needs to be a dog and handle business, and everybody will love him for that. Same goes with Jacob. We've actually had some remission, if you would, of Braun Breaker's dog status because they're hyping him up too much. He doesn't need the hype. He's like the Bautista in Evolution. He just needs to be there and be bad, and he will stay over. So Braun being a champion is cool with me. I think that would be fine. So if it happens that way, Adrian, credit to you. We will give you all the credit, and it's a good option, great option. But you're the one who's stayed true to it since the very beginning. So I want to make sure you are noticed for that. Well, I have a feeling that Jimmy's about to troll us all. I don't know why. It's just about that time of the show, I guess, for him to do something trolly. But who beats?
I'm smelling what Pops is cooking.
Who beats Seth, Jimmy?
I think Adam Pearce is going to get so tired of LA Knight, CM Punk, and Jey Uso bitching about the title that he's going to give Jimmy Uso the title shot, and he's going to beat Seth.
Rolling, like I said.
No, I mean, you could be right, though.
Listen, it stands on with what I say. I'm telling you the WWE is propelling Jimmy Uso. They are doing it. Jimmy Uso is the only one out there not griping, trying to get it done. They've moved him to Raw, though. They've put him at odds with Roman. Jimmy is, and look, also, let's be honest, they've paid special attention to Jimmy Uso's appearance over the last few weeks. They've made sure his beard is done right. They made sure he looks like a straight-up Yeet G. If Jimmy could win it, and that would be super cool. I'd love that.
Jimmy deserves it than the whole bloodline, and I stand on it.
Yeah, he does. Jimmy's better than all of them. I've said that on shows in the past, too. Jimmy's better. He's better in ring, and he's better on the mic. Cool. I like that. Good job, Patriarch. I acknowledge you.
I do not acknowledge you.
Well,
With a
you're
nine.
the only one with a different last name, so.
I'm also the only one who represents the true.
Bro, I love you so much. Oh,
You will never
man, good
destroy.
stuff.
You will never destroy my fanboyness ever.
All right, well, since
I
this
will
is the
remain a
nature of the
fanboy.
show, I mean, I yeet for Jimmy. Yeet. I'd rather yeet for Jimmy. Since it's the nature of the show, predictions. It was asked who beats Cody,
Yes.
and y'all know. I'm just gonna say it. I'm not even gonna give a long to-do about it. Y'all know who I want to beat Cody. End of story. End of the line. Done deal. Drew McIntyre. Some way, somehow, I want Drew McIntyre to be the champion. Period.
I want to troll so bad.
I mean, I know he lost, and I know he's all this other stuff, but I want Drew to win it at some point.
I do too. That's not what I want to troll about, but I agree with you.
All right,
I-
tell me your predictions. Who do you want? Who will?
I have two.
Of course,
people.
it could be Randy. It's looking like it might end up being Randy. But okay, I'm moving on. Give me your
with my two
predictions.
One of it is Randy. I think he could be definitely a good contender, and the way it's looking, it could be, but they either have it as a mini storyline between Survivor Series and the road to WrestleMania, or they use it and milk it all the way to WrestleMania for Randy to win. But my second person is Jey Uso.
Jay leaves Raw, comes to SmackDown, beats Cody. That's what you're telling me.
Jay wins Chamber and challenges Cody.
Cool. Okay. Now, at least with that prediction, there was a linear process that got us there. So, okay. That's fun. Good job. I like it. I don't want it to happen, but I like the thought process.
I think Adrian's coming from like a thought process of the fact that since Jay has been acting like this, he's talked about going back to the top and getting. He said he's talked about championships. He's talked about his World Championships off that, but the only title that he's even had any encounter with and stared down with the evil look was Cody's. And he looked at Cody like he was a piece of crap when Cody tried talking to him about the way he was acting. Kind of just blew him off. But the whole time Cody was talking to him, he's staring at that belt. Cody walks off. Now, that could have just been used as an angle to just show that Jay's just that focused on the top, that every time one of those things were around him, that's all he cares about. He's not even listening to anything anyone says to him because that's all he cares about. But that angle could also be that forget the World Championship. I want the big one. I want to be the top.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's where I think Age is coming from. That's an angle I've talked about before too.
So you're saying Jey Uso gives it up after all this grief that he's gone through on Raw, comes back, challenges for the big one, and is now a presence on SmackDown, which would be okay because he did leave SmackDown to get fame that he wasn't getting on SmackDown. He came Raw. Now he goes back, and there's plenty of contesting there. Solo's there, the MFTs are there, Sammy's there. There's plenty of new business for Jay, and that happens because Jay wins Chamber. Okay. Something to look forward to for Chamber.
This is my trolling answer. Since Dad didn't give us the trolling, I'm going to give us the trolling. You ready for my trolling answer?
Yeah.
Jacob Fatu.
Okay.
No.
Yes.
Jacob Fatu will be champion at some point. He will be. Do I think he'll beat Cody? Oh.
Yes.
I don't know. I kind of feel again like it's going to be maybe Drew. Maybe Randy beats Cody, then Drew beats Randy because there's bad blood, and then Jacob comes and beats Drew. I do think we're going to get to the point soon enough where it's going the way we want it to go, and there's going to be a lot of title changes.
Please.
Okay, you said it was a troll answer. Fine. If it happens, wow. I do want to say I think Jacob will be champion at some point. We all know that's going to happen. But when it comes to a championship reign, I don't know who on the roster right now is going to hold it for a long time like the big dogs are currently. I want the last thing. Well, I had two things on my list. One's a small thing. I'll celebrate it at the very end. And we're getting close, I guess. It was deserving superstars, and my God, why won't they just let LA Knight win one? I don't even care who it is at this point or how, but God, the man deserves to be a world champion.
He does. He does. I will gladly sit here and say that I agree with you. And it's not like he's gonna. And it's not like he's gonna win Rumble. It's not like he's gonna win Chamber. Like, we just know that that's like the last person in their mind. Like, and so it's like, when are you gonna reward this man for something? Like, because let's be honest, okay? I'm saying this as a Jey Uso fan, but let's be honest, bro. The man has been over as crap with the fan base for 3 years and has been booked probably the worst out of every person who's over on the roster.
I don't know that he's been booked.
He's just now getting good. No, he is just now getting good booking. He may have gotten some decent booking when Roman Reigns was champion, but even then, that was all like a joke. He got squashed in almost all those matches.
He was the U.S. champion on SmackDown.
Yeah, he was a U.S. champion, but and then they took him with a grain of salt. His title defenses were against Santos Escobar and Ludwig Kaiser randomly in Bash in Berlin. They didn't give him anything cool. The coolest title defense in his entire 2-time U.S. championship reign was against Jacob Fatu, and he lost that one.
He did lose that one. He did. Yeah, I had just mentioned of some deserving superstars, people that deserve more. Drew McIntyre's at the top of that list.
I agree with you. I agree with you 100%.
He is everything you want in a WWE superstar. And the biggest complaints on Gunther, which I don't agree with, but the biggest fan complaints on Gunther is that he's boring. Drew McIntyre is not boring. And he's everything that Gunther is. So why? Why won't we give it to him? LA Knight, the same way. He's got huge appeal. They won't give him a championship. And then, of course, you know who I think. Bad booking, whatever it may be. I don't want Penta to lose his over either. And it feels like we're not going in the right direction at all with Penta.
I'm just hoping that once the IC title gets off of Dom, whoever it gets onto leads to an eventual story where Penta can take that title from that person. Because obviously,
I don't think Dom's losing it. I don't think Dom's losing it for a long time. I think he'll lose the AAA championship before he loses the IC title. If he loses it, he's losing it to Finn Balor. Sorry.
The IC title?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe. I guess so. I don't know. I can see him lose. I can see him losing it in November in Boston.
All right. Anybody have any pressing business before I get to my marquee subject here?
No.
I'm gonna tell you who I think is gonna beat Cody.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Gunther.
Dude, listen, bro. I'm not even gonna sit here and lie to you. I'm probably the biggest. I probably think the lowest of Gunther out of all four of us in this podcast. But if Gunther was to go over to if we just randomly show back up again and it's on SmackDown and it's him feuding with Cody and he takes the title off him, I'd probably be a Gunther fan because that's what I want Gunther to do is go to SmackDown.
Well, we can't have both. We've either got Jay at Chamber or we've got Gunther.
I think you're gonna need a. I think you're gonna need a brief. I think you'll need a briefcase.
I agree with it, but it is Age's prediction. I don't care really. To tell you the truth, as long as we're not going on a year-long run, for love of God,
I just want to know when Uncle Howdy gets it, because he's, regardless of what you say, even if he's not in contention for it, when you list those guys up here that could be great champions because of the positioning in the company, Uncle Howdy, you got to mention Uncle Howdy. He has the faction, he has the draw, he has everything. He hasn't mentioned it yet, but
I love it, but the reason I have him on my screen tonight is because we never see him. So I give our fans a chance to actually see him on TV.
they were on SmackDown. They're going to be on the PLE.
Yeah, I know, but
They're gonna be on the PLE.
they should be fighting every week.
No,
Street
they're
Profits.
they're defending their title against Street Profits on SmackDown. They're not in the PLE.
They're doing that tomorrow.
Yeah, they're doing that
Yeah.
tomorrow. That's not PLE.
Instead of seeing
Dude,
Roxanne
tomorrow's SmackDown is so
and
good.
Rochelle
Dude,
every
oh
week.
my-
The patriarch's pissed.
Shark is best.
Yeah, but
But honestly, but I'm not gonna lie to you though. I don't disagree with your logic on Uncle Howdy and the Wyatts. I do believe they that eventually in due time, for sure, not too long, but definitely in due time, that Uncle Howdy gets something really cool. Because it's not like he doesn't have, especially after that because we know this kind of stuff matters. Especially after that entrance that they had in Paris. Like, bro.
Listen, the Wyatts
That needs-
will take it all. They absolutely will. I'm not going to stop believing that. I think that they will take it. It's just a matter of when and how, and they got to do
And
it right.
imagine a Wyatt 6
wanna
design
see
Money in the
Nikki
Bank
Cross.
briefcase. Like, dude, come on now.
You know what would honestly be kind of cool? It'd be a weird twist to things because, if the fallout with Jay and Jimmy and stuff keeps going. Let's take your story into it. Let's make sense of this, and then I want to get to our closing segment. Let's say Jay wins Chamber, Jay beats Cody, and then following the WrestleMania match between Jay and Cody, at the very end, Jay's got the belt in hand at WrestleMania. He's celebrating. The lights go out. The lights come on, and Uncle Howdy has Jay in the Sister Abigail, puts it on him, holds the belt up, lights go out again, lights come on again, Uncle Howdy's gone.
Is the belt gone?
It could or could not be, but either way.
Either way it goes, it just
that would be
sets up.
cool.
It just sets up.
You know what I
It
want?
would be kind of fun.
Because then Jay, you got the classic underdog story, which was what put Jay back on top anyway. Jay may be champion, but he's still underdog because he's got to go against the Wyatt 6 and he has no friends.
Especially because of the way he's been acting. And then because of the way he's been acting, that makes the Wyatts go at him. Dude, we might be cooking.
Well, then you got
Dude,
the
that
solo.
makes-
You got the solo redemption arc where Solo comes to help Jay.
Oh. Hey.
all right. Let's talk about one thing real quick. We're excited about Crown Jewel. I want to give the Crown Jewel card to everybody. Of course, that could change. We still have an episode of SmackDown left. But we're gonna have Rhea Ripley and Io Sky versus Asuka and Kairi. I think it's gonna be a good match. I think there will be a twist here. I think there will be a twist in that match. You got an Australian street fight, which honestly, who cares? It just means no DQs. Roman Reigns, Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed, my tribal thief, will win this one. I don't care what anybody else says. I'm not even going to take predictions. Bronson Reed's winning. I'm going to save this one for last. But then we have the WWE Women's Champion, Tiffany Stratton versus Stephanie Vauquer. Real quick, 2 words. Who's winning? Jimmy?
Tiffany.
Adrian?
Tiffany.
Dominic?
Tiffany.
I think Tiffany's winning as well. And then we have the Crown Jewel Championship match, Seth Rollins, Cody Rhodes. 2 words. Who's winning? Jimmy?
Seth.
Adrian?
Seth.
Dominic?
Seth.
I agree. I think Seth will win. And then, to wrap our show up, I want to talk about a huge thing that can't be overstated. I'm not happy. I'm mad. And listen, hold on real quick, just to give credit. Hold on. Stay right where you're sitting because just to give credit to this, Hold on. I've got something for you.
I'm not ready.
As John Cena's best friend in the whole wide world. That's me. That's me and John. As John Cena's best friend in the whole world. I am livid that they have, and we're talking about this, they have completely and officially completely botched it, John Cena's retirement run.
Oh my god. I don't know, bro. I think
No. They have botched it. They had plans for it. Plans fell through, and now the only thing left they have to do to save any kind of dates that he'll be on TV is to book him in fan requested matches, which is I'm cool. I'm glad we're getting John and AJ, but it's too late.
Well, you want to get into that conversation? Do you want to talk about who we want to retire John Cena? Or who we think
Well, we talked about it on the last episode, so that's literally the last thing we talked about. Oh, you weren't on that episode, but we talked about it. No, I don't want to talk about who retires John Cena. I want to talk about the fact that my boy was done completely wrong in all this. Yeah, and now they're doing what they can to cover their own butts with what's left of his dates. Just try to give us what we want so we're happy with it. But the WWE, whether it's Triple H, whether it's The Rock, whether it's TKO, whether it's anybody back there, they have officially botched his retirement run, and they better give us, with what's remaining of his matches, the only thing they can do, they better give us 5-star matches with 5-star opponents. And they got a lot to do, making up to do, because Brock Lesnar in John Cena's retirement run should not have beaten him. Wrestle-Pa-Loser sucked. And we didn't talk about it because we're all still a little jaded. We're all still a little upset. It's kind of like one of those too soon moments. But one of the top things that sucked about Wrestle-Pa-Loser was John Cena and Brock Lesnar. It was awful. And Brock Lesnar should not have beaten John Cena. Shouldn't have. No way. Ends in DQ? Fine. Ends in DQ. But Brock Lesnar beating John Cena on his final few days.
Especially the way he did.
It was a terrible match, too. And it was a clear money grab is all it was. Oh, we're going to do this because it's ESPN's first pay-per-view, and we're going to try to make it as big as possible. We're bringing Brock back for this one just to put ESPN over. That's what it was. Awful. I think John Cena and AJ will give us a great match. I think that will be an excellent match. But, you know, at the end of the day, it doesn't hold any weight because neither one of them are champion. You know, they don't propel anybody for this. It's going to be one, done, over. We got it. Yay.
I hear you. I don't disagree.
Honestly, the rest of John Cena's dates are absolutely meaningless. They're complete fluff now because the storyline is over prematurely. And I'm mad about it.
I don't necessarily disagree with you. I think, but can I say something that you might not like? But I think that it could redeem this whole situation, maybe, perhaps, is I think what would be cool, because he has Crown Jewel versus AJ, and then he has an appearance in Boston on Raw, an appearance in the Garden, New York City, and Raw, and then he has Survivor Series, and then he has a retirement match. Only has 4 more appearances after Crown Jewel. What if John Cena beats AJ, which I think he should, and I think he will, and then he shows up to Boston, his hometown, last appearance in his hometown ever, wrestling, and what they booked that night, kind of randomly, but it works, is they give Dom his biggest match ever, and he fights John Cena in Boston. And then that's where either Rusev or Judgment Day or someone costs Dom that match. John Cena is a Grand Slam champion. He goes to the Garden, his last Raw ever. He's celebrating. He's an IC champion. He's a Grand Slam champion, 17-time world champion. He defends it. He wants to do an open challenge with it, defends it. Someone really cool answers, either Sheamus, Gunther, someone answers. and then Vision comes out there and then someone costs him that match. I don't care who, someone. But then that puts him in the War Games. He goes into the War Games match, and then at the end of War Games, the person who's going to retire him shows up, or the person that's going to retire him does something to him. They go into the retirement match knowing who it is, and then John Cena gets sent out. An actual storytelling and good, and he becomes a Grand Slam champion.
Okay. If they had plans to make John Cena a Grand Slam champion before his time is up, okay, they can add a little bit of reparation to what they've done with his retirement run. I'll give you that. That's best case scenario. And that's all the positivity I will give to what's left of his run.
No, because trust me, I don't disagree with you at all. Trust me, I'm sitting here all the time talking to Adrian about how John Cena's retirement match is in Washington, D.C., and the tickets drop on the 17th, and I would love to see how much they are, possibly even consider maybe even going. But if the rest of his tour is going to be trash, and the retirement match is going to be trash, I don't know if I even want to waste the money on even going. You know, like
John Cena, let me tell you, John Cena should have been a heel up until the end and done exactly what he said he was going to do.
He should.
Nobody would have forgotten that. Nobody.
Yeah.
But now they're going to look back at John Cena and this retirement, and they're going to talk about how that was weird.
Yeah.
Remember that time John Cena went heel? Yeah, that was weird.
That happened.
Yeah, they're gonna.
Yeah,
it's been a mess. It's been a whole. I definitely don't disagree with you at all. It's like it's honestly one of the biggest things I see talked about in the social media platform of wrestling is how in the hell do they manage to botch John Cena's retirement tour? Like, it's not even like he didn't even give him advance notice. Homie came out and announced this retirement tour in the middle of summer of 2024 at Money in the Bank.
Yeah, and that's where I think, honestly, it comes down to creative differences. And again, we've said this before, they need to leave it to Triple H. Triple H knows what he's doing. Shawn Michaels knows what he's doing. Shawn Michaels has made a product out of NXT. He has done a dang good job.
Facts.
They need to leave it to the people that are in the position.
Yes.
And then that's it. Because Triple H, we know for a fact Triple H was responsible for some amazing things. He was responsible for the build-up and the bring-back of the Wyatt Six. And that was true cinema until, unfortunately, Uncle Howdy, Bo Dallas had a real-life issue going on, and they had to sideline that. Everybody loved that. Triple H was responsible for the New Day's breakup. It was awful in the best way. Triple H was responsible for a lot of things. John Cena has said from the middle of the ring that The Rock took over creative control of his return, and that when he went from being heel to face again, he called The Rock out and said he's tired of following someone's plans for him that's sitting in a seat at the corporate office and showed up at the beginning and won't show up again. He absolutely defamed The Rock on live television. Yeah. And now, the only way you could redeem that is if The Rock ends up being his final opponent. There's only two ways where you get something out of this, and that is The Rock and that is Grand Slam. But the overarching story, all of it, what we've seen from Triple H is long-term storytelling happens. It happens well. It plays out well. We're reminded of things. People are impressed that these things are remembered over the course of months. What we've seen from The Rock and TKO is fly-by-night stuff that doesn't happen, doesn't go over well. It's over before it started, and we're left sitting, what? Why? You can take The Rock's involvement, and you can go all the way back to The Rock's involvement in WrestleMania, him trying to book himself against Roman, and the crowd saying, no, we don't want this. They chose Cody over The Rock. The Rock, okay, he is what he is. He needs to leave booking alone.
Yes, 100%. I don't disagree with you at all. I am on the side of that. Triple H, if you even want more evidence of how goated of a booker he is, go watch almost any PLE from 2022 and 2023. dude, he was in complete in charge of booking for those 2 years, and they cooked. Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns' last man standing match at SummerSlam in 22 was absolutely amazing. It was on fire. It was so surreal. The feud was unmatched. It was awesome. People talk about that match to this day.
Yeah.
Like, in everything that Triple H ever put his hands on, have full control over, is remembered as we speak right now. Anything that TKO or the Rockers tried to fly by their pants and take over on is a thing that people bitch about the most. And so
Yeah.
it's just
The crowd wants this, so we're going to give it to them. And then everybody's like, oh,
and
we
they're not
really
feeding
didn't.
on it.
We really didn't want that after all. It's happened too many times.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's my vent. If anybody doesn't have any, I have got one more. I want to make sure we end on a good note, so I've got one more thing. But before I do that, anything else we need to discuss? It's been a fun episode, just kind of flying by the seat of our pants tonight. Crown Jewel is tomorrow. It's actually Saturday, but they're in Australia tomorrow on SmackDown. Should be good stuff. I don't think SmackDown will suck tomorrow, Dominic. I think it'll be good.
I think it does have potential to be good too.
Thing between
I will say
Damian
that.
and Aleister Black.
Yeah,
Yes.
dude.
Hey,
last
no.
man standing
Don't
was
you
too.
put no disrespect on Aleister Black's name, because his match against Sami Zayn was good. I've been saying it since the beginning. You've got the wrong people feuding. Damian's good. Aleister's good. They're not good together. You had Aleister go and fight Sami on SmackDown. That was a great match. That was a lot of fun to watch. First time ever I've been interested in watching Aleister. Good stuff.
But they are. But I mean, like you said, Damian Aleister feuding is really not working at all. But I will say, them two in a last man standing match is going to be fire.
I think it'll be fine. But I'm ready for it to be over.
This is the ending. I think this is the ending.
Let's hope.
I don't think we got to talk much about this because we've talked about it so much before, but we got a Maxine Dupree push.
That's where I was going to end the whole episode. Woohoo! Our girl Maxine beat Becky Lynch on Raw. I don't care how she did it. I don't care why she did it. Her music played at the end of a match, and that is how we're ending our show, with a slam dunk. I'll even acknowledge Maxine. Woo! Maxine Dupree beats Becky Lynch. Yes!
And she does it in super pristine, fine fashion.
So fine. So fine. In the words of Adam Sandler, want to touch the hiney.
Want to touch the hiney.
So good. So great. I loved it. I rewound it just to watch it again. She was fantastic in the ring. The only thing Maxine needs to drop is her side spin kick that she does. I know it's her thing, but she's really slow. And every time she does that kick, it looks fake. Take that out of the match. The whole match was good. I loved every bit of it. And I love the fact that she won. And I'm hoping that Becky's mad and goes after her again.
Oh, I do too, bro. Oh, I really do. I really do. But the last
win in WWE.
I've never seen her win. I think I saw her beat Ivy Nile one time.
Right, I think that's it. I think that's really the only win.
But I don't think that was on WWE. Wasn't that on NXT?
Maybe. I don't know for sure.
Fought like 3 times, and Ivy won 2, and she won 1.
Yeah, but I think that time she beat Ivy was on NXT. I don't think it happened on a main show.
I don't know for sure. I just know that she doesn't get very much wins or very much.
Dominic, you're supposed to be the analysis guy. You're supposed to know all these
bro.
facts.
I don't remember them fighting like that. I don't.
Either way, listeners, we are ending our show with giving accolade to Maxine Dupree for beating Becky Lynch on Raw. Congratulations, Maxine. We love you. We're some of your biggest fans. In the words of the crowd, you deserve it.
Yes.
All right, guys. Well, we've done a good job catching everybody up on the
Maxine Dupree.
Maxine Dupree. Well, again, we've done a good job of catching everybody up these last 2 weeks. Sorry, Wrestle-Pa-Loser was just that awful. We questioned whether we were even WWE fans or not after that. But we're back. We'll be back next week. We'll be covering tomorrow's SmackDown. We'll be covering Crown Jewel. We'll be covering Raw. Shut up, Dominic. And we'll be back in action with all the booking segments that you've come to love about us. We're also posting little segments of each episode on TikTok and other things. So definitely want to grow our ratings. And again, the entire thing here is we want to know from you who beats Sami Zayn. That's how you can pitch in and let us know. And we'll do our best to give some reward away in some fashion to the viewer that gets that right. So you've heard it from us tonight. We didn't introduce each other at the beginning, but we're going to introduce ourselves on the way out. Below me, you've got Dominic, my brother, my other brother, Adrian, and the patriarch of the family, Jimmy Rhodes. We are the Rhodes family, and we love doing this. We hope you love it as much as we do. We will see y'all after we go to Australia.